sure you have paper and pencil so you'll be able to take notes with me. As we stated earlier, the Pythagorean theorem deals with right triangles. So go ahead and draw your right triangle. And we said that the right triangle has two legs. So my leg here, I will label this A, and my leg down here will be labeled B. We said that the hypotenuse is always located opposite of the right angle, and it is also the longest side. So this is my hypotenuse, so I will label that C. The actual Pythagorean theorem tells us that if you square side A and add that to the square of side B, then that will give you your hypotenuse squared. So the Pythagorean theorem is basically A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And we stated that we use this theorem to find the missing side lengths of a triangle. So let's do this first example. We'll call this example 1. So on example 1, we have our right triangle, and I will let my first leg be 3. My second leg, I will label that 4. This will all be given to you. And then it will tell you, or it will ask you to find the length of the hypotenuse. So we said that we use the Pythagorean theorem, which is A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So I will simply plug in my numbers into the formula. So A, we labeled that as 3. So I plug in 3, and then you'll need to square that. 3 squared plus B, we said that B was 4. So instead of B, I will plug in my number 4, and then we need to square that. So once we square those two legs, that will give us our missing side length of C. So think back to last unit when we talked about exponents. 3 squared means 3 times 3. So 3 times 3 gives us our 9. 4 squared is 4 times 4, and 4 times 4 equals 16. And then I just bring down my C squared. And now we just go from here. 9 plus 16, that equals 25. So 25 equals C squared. But we cannot stop here because we are looking for variable C, not C squared. And also back in last unit, we talked about how to take the square root of a number. So to get rid of this squared symbol, we simply take the square root of both sides. The square root of 25 is 5, and the square root of C squared is C. So this is just one example. Let's try another one. If you have any questions tomorrow, make sure you come in and ask them. If you would like to come in early, please do so we can discuss any problems that you are having. On this problem, let's look for one of our legs. Let's solve for B. So in this right triangle, you are given one leg is 6, and your hypotenuse is 11. And the Pythagorean theorem, the formula, is A squared plus your B squared will give you C squared. Going back to my right triangle, this is A, this is B, and 11 is C. So instead of plugging in A, I will put 6. So 6 squared. And B is our unknown side, so I don't have anything to plug in for B just yet. So I'll keep B right here. And instead of C, I'm going to plug in my 11. And then I need to square this 11. 6 squared is 36. Bring down my B squared. because that's what we are solving for. We don't know what B is just yet. And 11 squared, 11 times 11, that gives you 121. Now I'm just solving for B, and you remember from 7th grade to solve a one-step equation, you do the inverse operation. This 36 is positive, so to get rid of it, I will need to subtract 36 from both sides. This cancels. On the left side, you're left with B squared, and that will equal 64. Last unit, we learned to get rid of the square symbol. You have to take the square root of it. The square root of B squared is B, and the square root of 64 is 8. So B equals 8. Once again, if you have any questions, please come in with them tomorrow. Best wishes on your homework. See you tomorrow.